Knocking from the underworld, something really monstrous has happened on Mars for the first time in the history of the planet. The Martian rover InSight recorded deep 5 magnitude and 4 magnitude earth tremors, earthquakes, Mars quakes, which NASA called Monstrous. These are the most terrible Martian soil quakes in the entire history of observations. The reason is completely unclear, but scientists are ready to accept the most incredible versions. Researchers have long dreamed of studying whether the soil on Mars is shaking, whether there are Mars quakes on the red planet. Rovers made it possible immediately surprises began. InSight was sent to Mars with a highly sensitive seismometer provided by the French National Center for Space Research, CNES, to study the interior of the planet. And ever since we installed our seismometers in December 2018, we've been expecting big things, said Bruce Bernard, InSight principal investigator at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Southern California, who is leading the mission. This earthquake will surely open up a view of the planet like no other. Scientists will analyze this data in order to learn something new about Mars in the coming years, he said. First, it turned out that the quakes on Mars are rather weak. Secondly, and this is the most interesting, there are two types of Mars quakes. The first one comes from somewhere in the depths, and their nature is approximately the same as on Earth. The other type is born relatively shallow, and these are very otherworldly and unusual sounds. Even though they are barely audible, they spread perfectly over great distances, and as it seems, mainly from one region, which is several hundred kilometers away from the rovers. Something is at work right there below the surface, they said. Something or someone. At the beginning of the year, the authoritative scientific portal Space published an article with a strange title. Scientists eyed the Martian underground in search for alien life. It was actually a report from NASA-sponsored conference in Carlsbad, New Mexico, USA. According to Vlad Stamenkovich of NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, caves below the surface of Mars may be full of life, unlike the surface. He said, there's high radiation on the surface and the water is unstable like in caves. Scientists noted that the devices photographed numerous entrances leading into deep caves, but they had not ventured down there yet, although what they are afraid of, it's not clear. The caves are not as dangerous as everyone thinks, said Penny Boston, Senior Advisor for Science Integration at NASA's Ames Research Center in Mountain View. The researchers are careful not to suggest that the quakes could simply be the sounds of machines that work under the surface of the red planet. But what is not allowed to scientists is easily said out loud by numerous conspiracists and Martian hunters who look at photographs from rovers and study other data in available material. Mars is about 10% of the mass of our Earth, so a 5 magnitude or even a 4 magnitude quake is a monstrous amount. In the meantime, an earthquake occurred, and as far as one can judge, for 4 years of the mission, their strength is growing. At the same time, in the fall of 2020, the American Mars Express satellite detected an eruption of the Arsia volcano on Mars. It's likely that an underground civilization lurks under the Mars soil, as it is impossible for them to live on the surface. Life is in full swing underneath, and powerful machines work in natural and artificial caves, one of which perhaps was heard by the rover the other day. And this is on Soul Ask. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.